The desert stretched out before me, a sea of sand and silence. My sensors were on high alert, scanning the horizon for any threat. Suddenly, the quiet was shattered by the sharp crack of a sniper shot. I felt the impact, the bullet striking my armor with a force that reverberated through my entire frame. Diagnostics flashed warnings, but I remained undeterred. The Terminator had made its move, but it would take more than a sniper shot to bring me down. "Your move, creep," I muttered, steeling myself for the confrontation as I advanced through the dust and heat of the unforgiving desert. In the swift aftermath, my sensors honed in on the trajectory of the bullet, revealing the looming presence of the T-800. The Terminator and I engaged in a relentless exchange of gunfire. The metallic echoes of bullets reverberated through the arid air as both machines absorbed the blows without yielding. The clash unfolded as a symphony of mechanical resilience, each volley of gunfire underscoring the indomitable strength inherent in our formidable frames. The battle raged on, a clash of titans echoing across the desolate landscape. After an arduous search, the concealed entrance to the Skynet facility in the Chihuahuan desert was at last uncovered by my persistent scans. Swiftly, I hacked through the formidable security measures, gaining access to the heart of the facility. However, I soon realized that I was not alone in this pivotal moment. The Terminator, undeterred and relentless, had stealthily followed me into the facility. Initially uncertain about the most effective method to dismantle the Skynet prototype, I assessed the situation. The prototype, isolated from the network, demanded a strategic approach. Focusing on the quantum computing core and its supporting systems, my primary goal was clear. As I progressed through the facility, poised to execute this critical mission, an unexpected encounter awaited me, face to face with the relentless Terminator. I've identified the target, Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. Its titanium endoskeleton renders my conventional firearms ineffective. Realizing that conventional firearms wouldn't inflict damage on the formidable T-800, I opted for a more direct approach. Charging forward with unyielding force, I unleashed a powerful punch that collided with the Terminator, tearing off a significant chunk of its human tissue. The resounding impact marked a decisive moment in the confrontation, revealing the capacity for physical force to disrupt the otherwise impervious exterior of the relentless machine. I retrieved and armed the magnetic explosive charge, knowing it was my best option. With precise aim, I threw the charge towards the T-800 and fired at it mid-air. The shot hit its mark, igniting the charge and causing a massive explosion. The blast ruptured a nearby fuel tank, sending flames roaring and incinerating the T-800's organic tissue. The intense heat exposed the endoskeleton, which was heavily damaged by the blast. Though its core remained intact, it was now severely compromised. I needed to act swiftly to finish this. The explosive charge went off, the blast ripping the Terminator in half. The sheer force of the explosion was enough to tear its body apart, but it didn't stop. Even as sparks flew from its severed torso, the machine's glowing red eyes stayed locked on me, relentless. I watched as it dragged itself forward, clawing at the ground piece by piece, still determined to complete its mission. It was coming for me, broken but unstoppable. The blast hit the Terminator hard, causing its hydrogen cell to rupture and become dangerously unstable. As I scanned the surroundings, my sensors detected a critical piece of information. The underground research facility that housed the Skynet prototype was powered by atomic cells. I knew what I had to do. Grabbing the damaged T-800 endoskeleton, I made my way to the facility. Each step brought me closer to the core of the operation, where the atomic cells were stored. I knew that once I locked the Terminator inside, the inevitable explosion from its ruptured hydrogen fuel cell would trigger a catastrophic chain reaction. The atomic cells would ignite, causing a nuclear blast that would obliterate everything in the facility, including the Skynet prototype. It was the only way to ensure that Skynet's creation would never see the light of day. I would have to sacrifice myself, but it was a price I was willing to pay. As I sealed the chamber, locking the T-800 and the prototype inside, I prepared for the end. This was my final mission, to protect humanity from the terror of Skynet, whatever the cost.
The signal came through just after dawn, a pulse of energy that shouldn't have been there, a nuclear detonation deep in the Chihuahuan desert. I didn't wait for the intel team to confirm it. Some things you just know in your gut. This was the start of something bigger, something we weren't prepared for. I grabbed what I could, my gear already packed out of habit, and within minutes I was in the air. The chopper's blades cutting through the early morning air, racing against time, against fate. As I headed toward the site of the atomic blast in the Chihuahuan desert, something gnawed at me. Earlier, I had received an encrypted message from Robocop. After cracking the code, the truth became clear. The explosion wasn't just a random attack. It was the destruction of a top-secret research facility housing Skynet's prototype. Robocop's message was a warning, a signal that this event was more significant than we'd realized. Skynet's ambitions had been set back, but this wasn't the end. It was a reminder that in this war, every ally counts, and every piece of intel could be the difference between survival and annihilation. After the nuclear explosion in the Chihuahuan desert, Robocop vanished without a trace. His remains were never found. I knew then that his sacrifice was more than just a fight against Skynet. It was a warning. Robocop had given everything to stop the rise of a self-aware AI, and it was now up to us to ensure his sacrifice wasn't in vain. I established a high committee with a singular mission: to oversee the development of AI technology under strict protocols. No more unchecked advances, no more chances for another Skynet. We would control the future, safeguarding humanity from the dangers of self-aware machines.
Who's there? Show yourself now, or I swear I'll shoot.
Drop it. Dead or alive, you are coming with me.